I don't understand how anybody of a higher awareness or supposed consciousness would think that it's totally okay to say or to call or label somebody else an NPC. Like, did I miss that part in the Bible? Did I miss that verse? Did I miss it where Christ literally said that you can talk down about another consciousness? I don't know, because I don't know. I partly feel like I'm like in the temple when he's knocking the tables over. Like, this is the kind of level. Like, it's making me go feral. Like, I'm like goddess, like feral goddess right now. Like, I can't do it anymore. I'm so sick and tired of hearing it from people who claim that they actually have some kind of multidimensional higher awareness. Do you? Like, do you really? Because honestly, I think your frequency is showing. Like, genuinely. I wrote a post and I literally said, it is a judgment at its best and an insult at its worst. If we were to talk about unity consciousness and the law of one, I want to know where in that it actually fits that there are beings that you can call an NPC, because literally when you say non-playable, you in essence are saying that person is incapable of growth and incapable of adapting or changing their awareness. So in essence, you are saying that that person is not worth your time, they're not worth your energy, and they're not worth your love. That's what you're saying. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but really, you're in essence saying my truth and my perception is more valid than yours. You are in essence claiming also to know the business, the contracts, and the agreements of that particular being that you're calling a non-playable character. When, let's face it, there are varied levels of awareness here, and there are varied levels of how one participates in this reality. Whether you want to call it a simulation or wherever the fuck you feel it is. Like, I'm kind of over it at this point. There's so many fucking theories. It's like, pick a lane. Like, like, I just, I can't anymore. I really can't. I mean, you fucking galactics. Oh my God. Oh, the level of arrogance and elitism in regards to the spiritual level. I just, it's like, it's unreal. It's like, it's its own fucking zip code. I swear, I can't. I'm so tired of it. I can't. You all want to talk about how we're all one, love and light, 5D, but I'm better than this person because I know that I'm from the Pleiades, or I know that I'm from Sirius, or I know I'm an Andromedan. Oh, oh my God. I'm a 5D frequency. Really? You're 5D? That's amazing. Fairly certain if you were 5D, though, you wouldn't go around telling me that you are. Because you're 5D, you wouldn't give a fuck. You would just, like, literally be like this little Care Bear who tried to see the light in everyone and appealed to that and was working in a harmonic frequency. And you would just be, like, living your best life. And you wouldn't actually give a shit about labels. Because you'd realize that in the end, the most important thing was being love for the sake of being love, not because not and you would understand that ultimately love is immeasurable. Like you can't measure love. You can't measure source in that regard. You can't measure a source being. That's the difference. You galactics have to, everything has to be so technical. Everything has to have a, a freaking definition or a title to it. Like everything has this hierarchical structure. And I'm just like, I don't know. I think I hung up, I hung out in the higher realms for too long. And then I had to come back here. It's just like, I thought it'd be like riding a bike. And it kind of is. But it's kind of not. Because it's like, I don't know. It just all seems so simple. The answers seem so simple. And yet somehow they seem so elusive to everybody else. And I don't, like, all it is just being kind. How is calling somebody a non playable character being kind? You're literally saying that that being has literally nothing redeemable about them, that they have no story to share. When if you took a minute to talk to that person that you claim is a non playable character, you'd realize that they have a whole story to share and that there was something to actually learn. You know, it's funny. Yesterday, I had a lady, and I knew it happened. I was like, this is synchronistic. A family from Wisconsin come into the art gallery, and they were looking at these crystal lamps that we have there. And we have one, and it's this like blue calcite. It's big, and it's like I don't know, 7 grand. And one of the ladies makes this snarky comment, and I could feel the frequency over there and like this like very dissonant energy, like negative coming through. And she makes a comment about how I could think of so many other things that I would rather spend my money on. And I think to myself, I go, okay, clearly this is a teaching moment. So I walk over very gently and I explain to them how the lamps are handmade by somebody out of southern Arizona. And I explain the process of them having to build them. And then I explain how crystals actually have their own vibration and energy that they can impart on a space. And I look at the woman who had made the comment, and she gets this little smile on her face, kind of like, like that's a joke. And so I say, if you believe in that sort of thing, and then I continue and I explain to them all how it goes off of the concept of everything is energy. I explain electromagnetism, I explain the auric field and the chakras and the electromagnetic spectrum of light. I explain how if you compress quartz, how it generates a piezoelectric effect. And I look at the woman, she looks down, she's very quiet. But this gentleness brushes over her as she's listening. And her awareness, I feel this shift, this quietness, and humility, actually. Literally, I'm watching this woman grow and change. And I continue on and explain how crystals have a stable lattice structure and how, because of that stable lattice structure, it can help us to stabilize our energy centers within ourselves. And I gracefully wrap it up and then walk away. Because I could see that woman was literally having a moment of shit. Like I had made my point. There was there was no point to keep going. So I stop and I leave. And they all continue to walk around. And I could tell even the other two, like, were very interested in what I had to say. You could feel that childlike wonder and curiosity within them because they'd never heard anything like that before. No one had ever taken the time to explain things to them. Like, it was a complete moment of getting to see these people who would otherwise not have had that as part of their day, but because I took the time, I didn't just dismiss them as, oh, they're NPCs, they won't understand. I instead took the time because I recognize that they're source. I recognize that they're consciousness, and I recognize that they are serving in their own unique way. And who am I to judge how they should do so, or whether or not they're doing it the right way? And the interesting part was the one woman who had first like been the naysayer from an energetic sense. She seemed to want to stay within like in the same space of the gallery as me, which I noticed because her family went off to the other side, but she stayed on the same side that I was. It was like there was this sense of gratitude and actual safety and comfort in being around me, which I thought was interesting, especially since I, in essence, had challenged her. But she respected it and she appreciated it. And even when it came time for her to go join her family, she was the one who told me to have a good day. She was the one who said goodbye and wished me well. And it was just one of those really beautiful moments where, again, it made me grateful to be where I am. It made me grateful to serve in the way that I do. It made me grateful have the awareness that I do. You know, everyone talks about being love and light, but it's really not easy because you have to put aside all of your judgments. You have to put aside all of your preconceived notions. And you really living by the heart, living by that true vibration. It takes discipline and it takes the ability to literally see everyone at their highest level that they can be. It takes humility. It takes humility, but it takes humility and it takes pride. It takes all of it. You have to have the self-respect, but you also have to have the ability to know that you know nothing. So I guess that's my big thing about the NPC thing is that really, in essence, it's just sad. It hurts to hear people use it like it's so nonchalantly, like it's doing no harm, when in reality it's creating division, it's dividing, it's us versus them, it's claiming that you are of a higher awareness. And regardless, does that really even matter in the end if we're all source? Some of us are just here to serve in a different capacity. That's all. Some people are meant to play the game in the most basic of senses. And honestly, that's a big deal because I've seen some of the higher selves of some of those people. And I've seen some like they don't it's a service. It's a service for some of them to have to play it in that kind of way. But playing it in that kind of way energetically does serve a purpose, even if it doesn't make sense to you. Nothing is as it seems. We're all working on different levels and different layers. And there's a lot of people who are just subtly coding and recoding the system to fix things that are awry. And then there are some of us that are a little more active, that have more of an awareness to go after beings in a much more deliberate kind of conscious sense, because we are meant to face it in that kind of way. But it's not our place to say that the way that other being is doing it is better or worse. It's not our place to talk about any being here on this plane of existence in that kind of fashion. It's wrong, really. That's why I think it just really, really bothers me, I guess, because it's like, I don't actually think that some of you really understand that every time you use it, you're actually contributing to inverting the matrix. Like, you are literally speaking that code. You're literally doing the work for these other beings. Like, all they have to do is whisper. All they have to do is put a thought form out into the quantum field. Somebody picks it up, and then it turns into an infection. And everyone just goes with it because, well, I mean, they're woke anyway. So, can't possibly be that they could be distorted, or that they could have like a moment of discerning improperly, because, they're fucking Neo. They're woke. Sure. Okay. You're literally having to say something. You're literally having to demean another consciousness in order to feel like you have the truth and the answers. Is that any different from any of the other religions? Or, it's just rebranded. That's it. It's the same energy, just a different form. Even in spirituality, there's those people who have their dogmas. Okay. First, my video ended abruptly because I ran out of storage space. I'll be honest. So, I'm just going to finish my thought about spirituality and dogma. Or not. I don't know. I'm not feeling like it now. So, I don't know. I honestly think that my main point is that ultimately it is really important for us, for everyone. It's important to really just pay attention. And there's a lot of things that really do attempt to lure someone back into a certain frequency or vibration. And a lot of times it's so deceptive. And it's easy for one to walk right back into a cage and not even realize that they have, because the bars look so different. Almost pleasant. And I know no one wants to ever really hear that. And honestly, I'm just as capable of walking into a cage as the next person. I've done it. And I have to say, when you recognize that you did it, it's kind of, it's an experience. But my point is that anything that ultimately causes another being to look at someone else as a lower vibratory state within this like little game, I would really question anything that causes you to do so, especially when it's causing you to judge, in essence, um, consciousness that really doesn't necessarily deserve to be judged in that way. Like, just because somebody maybe doesn't perceive again as you do, or doesn't experience in the same way as you do, doesn't make their way, or it doesn't make them, first off, it's not always nefarious, and it's not always wrong, and it's not always that something is stopping them from a higher awareness. Some things are, that's true. And, all we can do is deal with it accordingly. But my point is that some of us are here as referees. Some of us who have a higher awareness are here to make sure that things don't get too out of hand. And I know that for some, it may be difficult for them to believe that there's anybody paying attention, because I'm sure that they're very upset and maybe think that certain beings are getting away with cheating or breaking the rules. Honestly, it's a quantum reality. It's a multidimensional reality. All I can say is nothing is as it seems. And just because it doesn't look like someone's getting slapped on the hand like you think they should, doesn't mean that it's not happening. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, that's all I'm willing to say, I should say. Some of us are here to make sure that other beings can play and experience and learn and grow and shift in their own vibration and frequency in peace. So you're actually, again, some of us are here to protect those non-playable characters that some of you call them. Some of us are here at a hyper-aware level to help those people on their own journey, at their own pace. And it's not our place to force our awareness or our perception on them. That's the humility of it. And that is part of playing the game. That is unique to the few of us that are here at that capacity. That's all I'm going to say is calm down, breathe, and if you're feeling a certain way, go hug a tree or stand on a mountain. That's all I'm going to say. Get some perspective. And just, you know what? Stop taking everything so freaking seriously. Maybe that's part of the problem too, is lighten up. And that's coming from a Virgo Capricorn. I'll just have you know. Like, chill. Go with the flow. It's all gonna be okay. It's not lip service. I don't know. That's it. I'm just like, galactics, calm down. I know you're all used to a certain way of things being. You're all used to you're used to consistent vibration, is what it is. And this plane of existence is actually, a, it's like all these different frequencies and vibrations all lumped into one realm. And I think it just drives some of you crazy. And I think some of you thought it would be really, really easy. And you're learning that it's not. And I just want to say, breathe. And your home is not that far away. And you do have the ability to rise to the occasion in all of this. And you do have the ability to anchor the frequency that you are used to here, those of the light, I should say, because there's all kinds of varied levels of polarity here. So what's comfortable for one may not be comfortable for another. Just keep that in mind. The main thing is that it's just harmonizing all of the different frequencies that are here. That's it. This is like the ultimate test, really, in a way, of unity consciousness of, can you take different frequencies from different realms, different polarities, negative and positive, and everything in between, can you inject them into this physical realm, and can they all somehow arrange themselves in such a way where they actually end up harmonizing in such a way that when one looks at Earth or steps onto the Earth plane, that it's like walking in a symphony, arranged and composed in such a way that it is just pure divine resonance and peace. That is the ultimate. Or if that can be achieved on Earth, that ripples through all the different realms of consciousness. Imagine what that would be like. It would be the ultimate of the ultimate achievements. There are so many portals here because of all the frequencies here. Really, in the end, whether, again, someone is of a hyper-aware nature or completely asleep, so to speak, or autopiloting through the game, everybody is playing a part in order to achieve that. So it's actually quite an exciting, it's quite exciting to be here, actually. It's actually quite an honor to be here and to see everyone experience and participate in the ways that they are. I absolutely adore it. You know, it's funny, when I first woke up, I was really disgruntled, I'll admit it. It was like, I was just like, what the hell? And I used to be that kind of person where I was like, this is my last lifetime. I'm never coming back here again. And then all of a sudden I had this moment, and it was like, it's years back, where it dawned on me, where I was like, I'm totally gonna be coming back. Um, I'm totally like invested in seeing all of this through to the very end. And even though it is actually has its challenges and its parts where it's awkward, like human bodies are weird. Like they're weird. I'm like, they're weird. I have moments where I just am like, get me out of this thing. But at the same time, I'm just like, but this is so fascinating. Like, it's just like this little flesh, organic body is just like, I'm like, well, if I'm gonna be in it, I might as well see what it can do. I might as well see how much energy I can pull through it. I mean, as a grid worker, there's been some fun. I've had moments where I'm like, well, I'm not bored. I just, I'm just saying that a lot of us, most of us, all of us really just need to not take it so serious and just enjoy it. Even when you have certain like service to self, like distorted, like little like groups trying to like cheat. Like really, and you think about it in the grand scheme of things when you really get up into like just experiencing from even an oversoul status, you just look at it and you're just like, oh, okay, well, they're gonna try that again. It didn't work when they tried it in this planet, but okay, sure. I mean, you really start to realize that they're working from the same playbook. They don't change a whole lot of their game plans. It really starts to get really predictable. And I just think that if you can just see the humor in it, it might make some who are having a hard time being here, like, I don't know, it just might make it easier for you. Because, like, really, some of these, like, even these like beings that like are like these like dark ascended masters and they just like want to infect source and like take over all of the multiverse. You're just but you tried it that way last time. I was hoping you had a different strategy. They don't. Because really in the end again, when you're coming from a place of light and you're coming from love, truly honestly love, it's just it's infinite. There's a ceiling when it comes to that negative, like, service to self energy. And the light just goes on and on and on and on and on. And it's like, it's just, there's something to be said about being from the chaos of all of that. Like, that creative is inexhaustible. The heart is inexhaustible. When you activate that thymus and that plasma, it's inexhaustible. Nothing can attach really to you. Honestly, I was just having this conversation with someone of like, you get to this space where you have these beings that try to attach or try to feed off of you, like they're these little energetic ticks. And you know what you do? You just lean into it and you tap into that plasma. And you know the thing about it is it's an overflowing cup. It never is empty. And those kinds of beings that are so lost and have so forgotten themselves that all they can do is feed off of the light of other beings, when they meet a being like that who is existing from that light and that love frequency, oh yeah, of course, they may think that they're feeding, but you know what it is it becomes too much. It becomes overwhelming. They can't stop eating. They can't stop consuming. They've gotten their fill, but they can't stop. And you know what happens? They fill themselves so full of love and plasma and light that they literally transmute themselves and explode. So nothing can attach when you operate from that. That's divine feminine high heart creation energy. It's chaos. It's animation. It's passion for the sake of passion. And when it has that kind of energy come at it, that energy realizes its limits and it realizes it cannot contain it. And that's always been the lesson for the light and the dark, destruction and creation. Because you have these forces that come in and they try to wipe it all out. They try to destroy it. They try to control it. And every single time they realize that they cannot. And that's why so many people go on about love being the most important thing and living by the heart and all of that, because that is the heart is the womb of creation. The heart holds the creation and the life force energy that makes up all of time and space and beyond. So think about that too. The next time you want to think that somebody is a non-playable character, even if it looks like they don't possess that or they don't have that in them, they do. And I guarantee you that were you to operate or interact with them from that heart energy, you'd be surprised by the experience that you may have with that person. And you may walk away a little bit more wise and a little bit more at peace and a little bit more full in your spirit, in your heart, and understanding that truly we are all source presence in some shape, way, and form. So this is where I shall end it, because it seems like a good place to. And I know for myself that is how I'm going to continue on my journey. And I look forward to the coming days where I get to meet all these different people of different experiences and awarenesses. And I'm going to get to hear their stories and share my own and really just revel in the power of human connection and how no matter what's going on in the world or how it may seem that certain beings are trying to take control, that when it comes to the everyday moments with each other on this mortal plane, that we really truly are the ones who create and dictate where this world is headed. And if I have learned anything in the last 7 years of working in a place that predominantly is travelers and people all over the world, is there is a lot to be excited for, and the human collective is a lot more aware than what one would believe. So I bid thee all adieu. My little theater kid Shakespearean self came out, I guess, in the end. But it's an exciting time to be here. And I think it's really important for us all to really remember that and have gratitude, especially those of us who do have that gift of hyper awareness. It's really important for us to have gratitude to be a part of this and to do what we can to balance and hold the light. So thank you to everyone who does that. It is appreciated, it is seen, and it is making such a huge difference, even in the moments where it maybe feels like it's not. It really does matter. You really do matter. And I have gratitude for everyone showing up and really doing the work to be the highest version of themselves. Thank you.